The existence of Jesus is not just stories recorded in the Bible or stories that Christians spread by word of mouth without any basis. It has been proven through real archaeological evidence. These objects are clear proof that what is written in the Bible is true. Jesus is real. Right now, I will reveal to you strong evidence showing the existence of Jesus throughout the history of the world. These archaeological discoveries were not found at the same time, but they were found in completely different times and locations. I will summarize all the evidence for the existence of Jesus in this post for you. If you find this video strengthens your faith in Jesus, please like and share this video with your family and friends. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I feel very happy to have your companionship in the journey of spreading faith in God. 1. The Pilate Stone. The Pilate Stone is a damaged block 82 cm x 65 cm of carved limestone with a partially intact inscription attributed to and mentioning Pontius Pilate, a prefect of the Roman province of Judea from AD 26 to 36. It was discovered at the archaeological site of Caesarea Maritima in 1961. The artifact is particularly significant because it is an archaeological find of an authentic 1st century Roman inscription mentioning the name Pontius Pilatus. It is contemporary to Pilate's lifetime and accords with what is known of his reported career. The inscription constitutes the earliest surviving, and only contemporary, record of Pilate, who is otherwise known from the New Testament and apocryphal texts, the Jewish historian Josephus and writer Philo, and brief references by Roman historians such as Tacitus. Pilate, whose full name was Pontius Pilate, was the 5th governor of the Roman province of Judea, serving under Emperor Tiberius from 2627 to 3637 AD. He is best known for being the official who presided over the trial of Jesus and ultimately ordered his crucifixion. Pilate's importance in Christianity is emphasized by his prominent place in both the Apostles' and Nicene creeds. Because the Gospels portray Pilate as reluctant to execute Jesus, the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church believes that Pilate became a Christian and venerates him as both a martyr and a saint. This belief is historically shared by the Coptic Church, with a corresponding feast on June 19th or June 22nd. 25. Although this is a famous figure in the death of Jesus, very little is known about him. Therefore, there were many doubts about whether Pontius Pilate really existed. In 1961, archaeologists added evidence of his appearance through the Pilate Stone. The existence of Pontius Pilate as governor of Judea is mentioned in the New Testament Gospels, further supporting the historicity of Jesus. The Gospels describe events involving Jesus and Pilate, such as the trial and crucifixion of Jesus, which coincides with the evidence provided by the Pilate Stone. Besides the Gospels, other historical sources also mention Pontius Pilate as governor of Judea. The archaeological evidence of the Pilate Stone complements these sources, thereby strengthening the credibility of the accounts of Jesus in historical texts. Academic scholars use archaeological findings like the Pilate Stone to investigate the historicity of Jesus and evaluate the authenticity of biblical accounts. This critical and evidence-based approach contributes to our academic understanding of Jesus as a historical figure. The Pilate Stone is particularly significant because it is an archaeological find of an authentic 1st century Roman inscription mentioning the name Pontius Pilatus. It is contemporary to Pilate's lifetime and accords with what is known of his reported career. In effect, the inscription constitutes the earliest surviving and only contemporary record of Pilate, who is otherwise known from the New Testament, the Jewish historian Josephus and writer Philo, and brief references by Roman historians such as Tacitus. 2. The Pool of Silom. The Pool of Silom is a significant archaeological site in the city of David in Jerusalem, mentioned in the Gospel of John. The Pool of Silom is a large water reservoir located in the southern part of ancient Jerusalem. The structure includes steps and colonnades, indicating an elaborate and functional design for water collection and distribution. According to the Gospel of John, the Pool of Silom was where Jesus healed a blind man by anointing his eyes with mud and asking him to wash in the pool. This event is considered a miracle and is an important part of the Christian narrative about Jesus' life. The Pool of Silom is not only an archaeological site but also a place of great religious importance for Christians. It is considered a place where a miracle of Jesus occurred, making it a pilgrimage destination for many believers. According to tradition, the Christian site at Silom Lake was the pool and church built by the Byzantine Empress Eudocia c. 400 to 460 AD commemorate the miracle recounted in the New Testament. However, the exact location of the original pool that existed from the time of Jesus remained a mystery until June 2004. The Pool of Silom was rediscovered in 2004 by archaeologists Ronnie Reich and Eli Shukran during excavations in the city of David. The Pool of Silom lies adjacent to the area in the old city of David known as the King's Garden. It lies immediately southeast of the remains of a 5th century church in Pool, traditionally believed to be a Christian sacred site Catholicism. This archaeological finding revitalized interest in the site and provided new information about its structure and historical significance. This discovery dates to the period of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, placing it in the same historical period in which Jesus lived and conducted his ministry. This historical context is important for understanding Jesus' life and his cultural and religious environment. The Pool of Silom is considered a significant site for Christians due to its association with the miracle of Jesus. Visitors can reflect on the biblical history and faith while exploring this archaeological site in Jerusalem. Besides its function as a water source for the city's residents, the Pool of Silom likely also had ritual and social significance in daily life in Jerusalem. It was a place where people gathered, socialized, and performed religious and purification rituals. Before its destruction by the Romans in 70 AD, the Pool of Silom would have been a central place in the religious and social life of the Jewish community in Jerusalem. Its archaeological rediscovery has increased interest in Jewish history and culture in Jerusalem during the Second Temple period. The rediscovery of the Pool of Silom provides tangible evidence of the historical authenticity of biblical accounts. Events described in the Gospel of John, such as the healing of the blind man at the pool, are supported by the physical presence of the archaeological site in the city of David. 3. The James Ossuary. The James Ossuary is a 1st century limestone box that was used for containing the bones of the dead. The James Ossuary came from the Silwan area in the Kidron Valley, southeast of the Temple Mount. The James Ossuary is a controversial archaeological discovery due to the timing of the inscription on the box, which is believed to indicate that the box contains the bones of James, brother of Jesus. One side of the box is engraved in Aramaic, an ancient language with a history of 3,000 years, Yaakov bar Yosef Akwidia Yeshua, which can be translated as James, son of Joseph, brother of Jesus. This inscription is very important to Christians because it proves the existence of Jesus. The ossuary attracted scholarly attention due to its apparent association with the Christian Holy Family. It is an archaeological object of great importance due to its presumed association with James, the brother of Jesus, a key figure in the early Christian church. Its discovery raises questions about the life and legacy of James, as well as the early years of Christianity. If the authenticity of the ossuary and its inscription is confirmed, it would be one of the earliest written references to Jesus outside biblical texts. This could provide additional historical confirmation of the existence of Jesus and his family, which has significant implications for understanding early Christianity. An ossuary is a container or receptacle used to store human remains after a period of decomposition, considered a luxury for the elite. Traditionally, they are used to deposit bones after a body has been buried, and the soft tissues have decomposed, thus allowing the reuse of burial space. Ossuaries can be boxes, urns, or even more elaborate structures, and have been used in various cultures and contexts throughout history. The James Ossuary has been the subject of intense academic debate since its discovery in 2002. While some experts support its authenticity, others have expressed skepticism and raised questions about the provenance and interpretation of the Aramaic inscription. Scientific analyses, including paleographic and dating studies, have been conducted to determine the authenticity of the ossuary and the inscription. These tests are crucial to establishing the historical validity of the object and its connection to James and Jesus. Owner Oded Golan said that, if the inscription on the James ossuary is genuine, it may indicate that the ossuary was that of James the Just, the brother of Jesus, the founder of Christianity. Beyond its historical importance, the James ossuary also has theological implications. If it is proven to be authentic, it could strengthen believers' faith by providing tangible evidence of the figures mentioned in the Bible and the early history of Christianity. According to the Synoptic Gospels, James was a fisherman on the Sea of Galilee when Jesus called him to follow him along with his brother John. Also known as James the Lesser, they left their nets and followed Jesus, becoming one of the 12 apostles. James was part of Jesus' inner circle along with Peter and John. These 3 apostles witnessed crucial events in Jesus' life, such as the Transfiguration on Mount Tabor and his agony in the Garden of Gethsemane. James is mentioned in several passages of the New Testament as one of the most prominent apostles. He is listed among the 12 apostles and in various accounts in the Gospels and Acts of the Apostles. In the Gospels, Jesus speaks about leadership in his kingdom. and James and his brother John expressed their desire to sit at Jesus' right and left in his glory. Jesus responds by explaining that leadership in his kingdom involves serving others. James was the first apostle to be martyred for his faith. According to the book of Acts, he was executed by Herod Agrippa I in Jerusalem in 44 AD. His martyrdom made him one of the most venerated saints in the Christian tradition, and he is attributed with various miracles and is considered the patron saint of Spain, where it is believed his body was transferred after his death. 4. The Shroud of Turin. The Bible says nothing about the shroud, which is today stored in Turin, Italy. The Shroud of Turin is a linen cloth that many believe was used to wrap Jesus' body. Therefore, some people consider this cloth to be one of the most sacred objects in Christianity. Currently, this cloth is kept in a church in Turin and protected in a sealed box. The Shroud of Turin is a piece of linen cloth approximately 4.4 meters long and 1.1 meters wide. This image was chosen as the model of Jesus, recreated by a halo that emitted light when Jesus was resurrected. It is one of the most controversial relics in the Christian world. The cloth bears the vague image of a man with crucifixion wounds on his wrists and feet. This cloth is kept in the Italian city of Turin and is protected in a glass case in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist. Since its first documented appearance in the 14th century, the shroud has been the subject of intense debate. Some believers consider it authentic and venerate it as the shroud that wrapped the body of Jesus Christ after his crucifixion, while others consider it a medieval forgery. Over the years, numerous scientific studies have been conducted on the shroud to determine its authenticity. Among these studies are radiocarbon tests conducted in 1988 that dated the cloth between 1260 and 1390, leading some to conclude it was a medieval forgery. However, these results have been subject to criticism and controversy, and some researchers question their validity. One of the most intriguing features of the shroud is that the image imprinted on it is a photographic negative, meaning that light and shadow are reversed. This has puzzled scientists and led to various theories about how the image could have been formed. Medical studies have analyzed the marks and wounds visible on the shroud to determine if they match the description of the crucifixion in the Gospels. Some experts have suggested that the marks on the shroud are consistent with the wounds described in the biblical accounts, supporting the idea of its authenticity. Similarities have been noted between the Shroud of Turin and other Christian relics, such as the Sudarium of Oviedo, which is also believed to have been in contact with the body of Jesus Christ. Some believers interpret these similarities as further evidence of the authenticity of the Shroud of Turin. The Shroud of Turin continues to be a subject of fascination and controversy, and its authenticity continues to be debated by experts and believers worldwide. The authenticity of the Turin cloth is growing as Israeli archaeologists reveal the first known shroud in Jerusalem from the time of Jesus' crucifixion. The weaving and design are completely different from the Turin shroud. The shroud in Jerusalem was woven in a simple two-way pattern, while the cloth in Turin had a diagonal weave appearing more than 1,000 years after the time of Jesus. However, the authenticity of the Turin cloth has nothing to do with whether Jesus was real or not. It is a mystical object, but it does not reflect questions about whether Jesus was a historical figure or the Son of God, or whether he rose from the dead. The authenticity of this cloth does not have any influence on the Christians. 5. The Galilee Boat. The ancient Galilee Boat, also known as the Jesus Boat, is an ancient fishing boat from the 1st century AD, discovered in 1986 on the northwest shore of the Sea of Galilee in Israel. It is a notable archaeological find that sheds light on life during Jesus' time in his ministry. The boat was discovered in 1986 on the northwestern shore of the Sea of Galilee near Kibbutz Jamesuary during a drought that reduced the water level and exposed the remains. It is estimated that the boat dates to the 1st century AD, the period in which Jesus lived. It measures approximately 8.2 meters long, 2.3 meters wide, and 1.2 meters high. The boat's construction is typical of ancient fishing vessels used on the Sea of Galilee, making it a valuable piece for understanding daily life in that era. The remains of the ancient Galilee boat were found by brothers Moshe and Yuval Lufan, fishermen from Kibbutz Jamesuary. The brothers reported their discovery to the authorities, who sent out a team of archaeologists to investigate. The team realized that the remains of the boat were of tremendous historical importance to Jews and Christians alike, and so an archaeological dig followed, undertaken by members of Kibbutz Jamesuary, the Israel Antiquities Authority, and numerous volunteers. While other than the dating, There is no evidence connecting the boat to Jesus or his disciples. It provides important historical context for the gospel accounts describing Jesus and his disciples traveling by boat across the Sea of Galilee. It gives us an idea of the type of boat that could have been used by fishermen like Peter, Andrew, James, and John before they became disciples of Jesus. Boats such as this played a large role in Jesus' life and ministry and are mentioned 50 times in the Gospels, though there is no evidence connecting the Sea of Galilee boat itself directly to Jesus or his disciples. The boat is made of various types of wood, including cedar and oak, and its construction shows the sophisticated boat-building techniques of the time. The diversity of wood used and the boat's design reveal the practical knowledge and skills of the builders of that era. The discovery of the Galilee boat has generated great interest among archaeologists, historians, and the public. After its discovery, the boat underwent a long and delicate process of preservation to prevent it from deteriorating upon contact with air. It was submerged in a conservation solution for several years to stabilize its condition. Today, the Galilee boat is on display at the UI Gal Allen Center near Kibbutz Jamesuary, where it attracts visitors from around the world. It provides an opportunity to explore and understand the historical and cultural context of the time of Jesus. In conclusion, the Galilee boat is a significant archaeological find that enriches our understanding of the period in which Jesus lived and carried out his ministry. Although it is not directly linked to Jesus, it provides an important historical context that helps us better understand the environment in which Jesus and his disciples lived and worked. 6. The Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls, also called the Qumran Cave Scrolls, are a collection of ancient Jewish manuscripts discovered in the Qumran Caves near the Dead Sea between 1947 and 1956. These manuscripts date from the 3rd century BC to the 1st century AD and are considered one of the most significant archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. They include texts from the Hebrew Bible, apocryphal works, and sectarian writings that provide valuable insights into Judaism and the context in which Jesus lived and preached. Among the Dead Sea Scrolls are some of the oldest known copies of the Hebrew Bible, including portions of all the books of the Bible except the Book of Esther. These manuscripts are of great importance for biblical scholarship, as they provide a direct connection to the text as it existed in antiquity and help scholars understand the transmission and evolution of the biblical text over time. The Dead Sea Scrolls include texts from the Apocrypha and Pseudepigrapha, which are books not included in the traditional Jewish or Christian canons. These writings provide a broader understanding of the religious and cultural context of the Second Temple period. Some of these texts share similarities with the teachings of Jesus, revealing aspects of Jewish thought and practice at that time. The scrolls also include writings specific to the Qumran community, such as the Community Rule and the War Scroll, which provide detailed information about the beliefs, practices, and daily life of the community. These texts help scholars better understand the religious diversity and sectarianism that existed within Judaism during the time of Jesus. The Dead Sea Scrolls provide crucial context for understanding the world in which Jesus lived. They reveal that Judaism of that time was not a monolithic faith but included diverse beliefs and practices, some of which have parallels in the teachings of Jesus. There are 225 biblical texts included in the Dead Sea Scroll documents, or around 22% of the total, and with deuterocanonical books the number increases to 235. The scrolls contain references to figures and events that also appear in the New Testament, providing historical and cultural context for the life and ministry of Jesus. They help to place Jesus and his teachings within the broader spectrum of Jewish thought and practice. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls has prompted significant scholarly discussion and debate. Experts from various fields, including archaeology, paleography, and theology, have studied these manuscripts to uncover their historical and religious significance. The preservation and analysis of the scrolls have been a long and complex process. The fragments were carefully collected, cataloged, and restored, and modern technologies such as digital imaging have been used to enhance the reading and interpretation of the texts. The Dead Sea Scrolls are housed in various institutions around the world, including the Israel Museum in Jerusalem. The museum's Shrine of the Book is dedicated to preserving and displaying these precious manuscripts, making them accessible to scholars and the general public. In conclusion, the Dead Sea Scrolls are a treasure trove of information about the religious and cultural context of the time of Jesus. Their discovery has provided a wealth of material for scholars and has significantly advanced our understanding of the Bible, early Judaism, and the world in which Jesus lived and preached. 7. The Magdala Stone. The Magdala Stone is an important archaeological find discovered in the ancient town of Magdala on the shores of the Sea of Galilee in Israel. It is a carved stone table that dates back to the 1st century AD and is believed to have been used in the Synagogue of Magdala, the town traditionally associated with Mary Magdalene, a follower of Jesus. The Magdala Stone is richly decorated with symbols and carvings that are believed to represent the Second Temple in Jerusalem, including a 7-branched menorah. This is significant because it provides a direct connection to Jewish religious practices and the cultural context of the time of Jesus. The stone features carvings that are considered one of the earliest depictions of the 7-branched menorah, a central symbol of Judaism. This indicates the importance of the Jerusalem temple to the Jewish community of Magdala and provides a glimpse into the religious life of the time. The town of Magdala is traditionally associated with Mary Magdalene, a prominent figure in the New Testament who was a follower of Jesus. The discovery of the Magdala Stone provides historical context for the town and its significance during the time of Jesus. The stone was discovered in 2009 during archaeological excavations at the site of the ancient town of Magdala. The site includes the remains of a synagogue, residential areas, and other structures, providing a comprehensive view of the town's layout and daily life. The Magdala Stone provides valuable insights into the religious and cultural life of the Jewish community of Magdala during the 1st century AD. Its discovery enriches our understanding of the environment in which Jesus lived and preached, and its connection to Mary Magdalene adds a layer of significance to its historical context. The Magdala Stone is now housed in the Israel Museum in Jerusalem, where it can be studied and appreciated by scholars and visitors. Its discovery has contributed to the growing body of archaeological evidence that helps to illuminate the historical context of the New Testament and the life of Jesus. In conclusion, the Magdala Stone is an important archaeological find that provides valuable insights into the religious and cultural life of the time of Jesus. Its connection to the town of Magdala and its richly decorated carvings make it a significant piece of evidence for understanding the historical context of the New Testament. 8. The Caiaphas Ossuary. The Caiaphas Ossuary is one of 12 ossuaries or bone boxes discovered in a burial cave in South Jerusalem in November 1990, 2 of which featured the name Caiaphas. It is a highly decorated ossuary twice inscribed Joseph, son of Caiaphas, which held the bones of a 60-year-old male. The Caiaphas Ossuary is a significant archaeological find discovered in 1990 in a burial cave in Jerusalem. It is a finely decorated stone ossuary that is believed to have contained the bones of Caiaphas, the Jewish high priest mentioned in the New Testament who played a key role in the trial and crucifixion of Jesus. The ossuary bears an inscription in Aramaic that reads Joseph, son of Caiaphas, which has led scholars to identify it as the ossuary of the high priest Caiaphas. The ornate decorations and high-quality craftsmanship of the ossuary suggest that it belonged to a person of high status and wealth. According to the New York Times and several biblical scholars, if authentic and attributable to the high priest Caiaphas, the ossuary is an important confirmation of the New Testament account and facilitates understanding of the historical Jesus. According to the New Testament Gospels, Caiaphas was the Jewish high priest who presided over the Sanhedrin during the trial of Jesus. He is mentioned in the Gospels of Matthew, Luke, and John, and is known for his role in condemning Jesus to death. The discovery of the Caiaphas ossuary provides a tangible link to the historical figure of Caiaphas and confirms the existence of a high priest of that name during the time of Jesus. The ossuary is a limestone box, typical of those used in the 1st century AD for the secondary burial of bones after the flesh had decayed. The practice of using ossuaries was common among Jews of that period and provided valuable information about burial customs and beliefs in the afterlife. The discovery of the Caiaphas ossuary is significant because it provides physical evidence of a key figure mentioned in the New Testament. It confirms the historical existence of Caiaphas and provides context for understanding the events of Jesus' trial and crucifixion. The Caiaphas ossuary is now housed in the Israel Museum in Jerusalem, where it is preserved and displayed for public viewing. Its discovery has contributed to the growing body of archaeological evidence that supports the historical accuracy of the New Testament accounts. In conclusion, the Caiaphas ossuary is a significant archaeological find that provides valuable insights into the historical context of the New Testament. Its discovery confirms the existence of Caiaphas, the high priest who played a key role in the trial and crucifixion of Jesus, and adds to our understanding of the religious and cultural environment of that time. 9. The Synagogue at Capernaum. The Synagogue at Capernaum is an important archaeological site that provides valuable insights into the life and ministry of Jesus. Capernaum is a town on the northwestern shore of the Sea of Galilee, which is cited in all four Gospels: Matthew 4:13, 8:5, 11:23, 17:24, Mark 1:21, 2:1, 9:33, Luke 4:23, 30:31, 7:1, 10:15, John 2:12, 4:46, 6:17, 24, 59, where it was reported to have been the hometown of the tax collector Matthew, and located not far from Bethsaida, the hometown of the apostles Simon, Peter, Andrew, James, and John. It is frequently mentioned in the New Testament as a place where Jesus lived and preached. The synagogue at Capernaum is believed to be one of the places where Jesus taught, as described in the Gospels. The ruins of the synagogue at Capernaum date to the 4th century AD, but it is believed to have been built on the foundations of an earlier synagogue that existed during the time of Jesus. The black basalt stones of the earlier synagogue can still be seen beneath the white limestone blocks of the later structure. The synagogue is a rectangular building with rows of stone benches along the walls, which would have provided seating for the congregation. The central area would have been used for reading the Torah and teaching. The architectural features of the synagogue, such as the columns and the decorative elements, provide valuable information about the design and function of synagogues in that period. Capernaum is frequently mentioned in the New Testament as a place where Jesus performed miracles and preached to the people. According to the Gospels, Jesus healed a man with an unclean spirit in the synagogue at Capernaum and performed other miracles in the town. Afterward, Jesus healed Simon Peter's mother-in-law of a fever, Luke 4:38-39. According to Luke 7:1-10 and Matthew 8:5, this is also the place where Jesus healed the servant of a Roman centurion who had asked for his help. Capernaum is also the location of the healing of the paralytic lowered by friends through the roof to reach Jesus, as described in Mark 2:1-12 and Luke 5:17-26. The Gospel of John reveals that it was here Jesus taught that he was the true bread of life coming down out of heaven, after feeding the 5,000, John 6:59. Shortly after, he was rejected in Capernaum because he had healed on the Sabbath day, which the Jewish authorities considered blasphemy. According to the Synoptic Gospels, Jesus selected this town as the center of his public ministry in Galilee after he left the small mountainous hamlet of Nazareth, Matthew 4:12-17. He also formally cursed Capernaum, along with Bethsaida and Chorazin, saying, "You will be thrown down to Hades." Matthew 11:23, because of their lack of faith in him as the Messiah. The discovery of the synagogue at Capernaum provides a tangible connection to these New Testament accounts and helps to verify the historical accuracy of the Gospels. The synagogue at Capernaum is part of a larger archaeological site that includes the remains of houses, streets, and other structures. The site provides a comprehensive view of the town's layout and daily life during the time of Jesus. Excavations at Capernaum have uncovered numerous artifacts, including pottery, coins, and tools, which provide further insights into the material culture of the period. The synagogue at Capernaum is a significant archaeological site that helps to illuminate the historical context of the New Testament. Its connection to the ministry of Jesus and its well-preserved remains make it a valuable resource for understanding the religious and cultural environment of that time. The site is now a popular destination for pilgrims and tourists who come to explore the ruins and learn more about the history of Jesus and the early Christian community. In conclusion, the synagogue at Capernaum is an important archaeological site that provides valuable insights into the life and ministry of Jesus. Its well-preserved remains and connection to New Testament accounts make it a significant piece of evidence for understanding the historical context of the New Testament. 10. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is one of the most important Christian sites in the world, traditionally believed to be the location of the crucifixion, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. According to the Bible, John 19:41-42, his tomb was close to the place of the crucifixion, and so the church was planned to enclose the site of both the cross and the tomb. According to Luke's Gospel, the Capernaum synagogue at the time of Jesus' ministry had been built or funded by a Roman centurion based there. Located in the old city of Jerusalem, the church has been a major pilgrimage destination for Christians since its construction in the 4th century AD by Emperor Constantine. The church is built on the site that is believed to be Golgotha, or Calvary, the place where Jesus was crucified. It also contains the tomb where Jesus was buried and from which he is believed to have risen from the dead. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre has been destroyed and rebuilt several times over the centuries, and its current structure dates to the 12th century, with later additions and restorations. This site has been continuously recognized since the 4th century as the place where Jesus died, was buried, and rose from the dead. Indeed, the Rock of Calvary, where the crucifixion is believed to have occurred, is encased in glass at the lavish altar of the crucifixion and is the most visited area within the church. Whether it is the actual location, however, has been hotly debated. The site of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was identified as the location of Jesus' crucifixion and burial by Helena, the mother of Emperor Constantine, during her pilgrimage to the Holy Land in the 4th century AD. Constantine ordered the construction of a church on the site, which was completed in 335 AD. The church became a major center of Christian worship and pilgrimage, attracting visitors from around the world. The church's architecture is a blend of various styles, reflecting the different periods of construction and restoration. It includes the rotunda, which houses the edicule, the small shrine that encloses the tomb of Jesus. The Rock of Calvary, where Jesus was crucified, is located within the church, and visitors can see the spot traditionally believed to be the site of the crucifixion. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is a place of profound religious significance for Christians. It serves as a focal point for the celebration of major Christian events, such as Easter, when the resurrection of Jesus is commemorated. The church is also a symbol of the enduring faith and devotion of Christians throughout history. In conclusion, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is a site of immense historical and religious significance. It provides a tangible connection to the events of Jesus' crucifixion, burial, and resurrection, and continues to be a major center of Christian worship and pilgrimage. The church's rich history and its role in the Christian faith make it a key location for understanding the historical and religious context of the New Testament.